Well, the midweek was one to forget for both Bournemouth and Chelsea. Both sides will want a reaction as the two sides meet at Vitality on Saturday. 7 of the 11 players that started against the Toffees for the Cherries were not with us last season, but with some familiar faces returning this week, we do have a little crumb of comfort. But we do still have Tyler Adams out, Lewis Cook out, Ryan Christie crocked. What will we do with our midfield? Andoni has got a fair amount to think about. Are you looking forward to this one, Tom?
Yeah, not particularly, I've got to be honest. I'm looking forward to, home game of the day and all that stuff.
Match day, Chris Edwards, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, can't say I'm too excited for the game itself. Alas, we have literally had this so many times. We've been on the floor. And again, this is the most banker of the weekend is Chelsea, and we'll go and turn them over. I mean, we won't win. We might.
Welcome to the opposition then. Look, Chelsea fans, if you're watching, we don't get it, right? We don't get it. When we play teams like Everton, Villa, Sunderland, Newcastle, we get big views on the channel, right? But Chelsea, not so much. Maybe it's because YouTube is saturated with Chelsea fan channels. I don't know. Maybe you've just been a stubborn blue and just not subscribing to the channel or not giving this video a like. So that's one thing that you can do to help this video grow a little bit more. A like, but what else is it?
Tap the little bell you see when all the videos are out.
Bell,
subscribe is important. So even if you don't like us that much, do it so you actually, fulfill the fact of being a big football club, because everyone else we get better views.
Exactly.
But yeah, there's loads of stuff in there. Fan reactions straight after the game, match day vlog, second look after that, do the global cherries. There'll be loads. Global cherries is back. So yeah, come and enjoy it. I mean, we spoke about it against Everton, so I don't want to speak about it too much, but we've had some big wins against Chelsea, haven't we, in our short time in the Premier League. So I wonder if they see us a little bit bogey-like, and that might annoy them maybe.
Well, the league table at the moment has them in 4th place. Bournemouth are 10 places below them in 14th. Can we get what would be, on recent form, probably a shock result? Bournemouth, of course, have lost 4 of their last 5 Premier League games, more than they had in the previous 17. Don't you just love Stat Zone when you need it? As you can see, we're at the courtroom at the QP, your home, this weekend for the big game. It's a Saturday 3 p.m, mate.
It is, mate. Yeah, we don't have many of them.
Are you coming for a pre-match pint?
Of course.
Of course you will.
We've got... What the game? Oh, Villa Arsenal on TNT.
Oh, that's a tasty
kickoff.
one.
That's a good one, isn't it? Because Arsenal feel like they just win every game.
Yeah.
Villa feel like they win every home game. So something's got to give. That'll be a really exciting one.
I think QP's going to be open from 11 o'clock.
Yes.
With every drink, you get a raffle ticket. So make sure you get that. Put it in your back pocket. Keep it for after the game, because around about 5:30, 5:45, Landlord Joe will be drawing out 2 lucky tickets. First prize this week, a ton, 100 quid. Why not? Second prize, £50 as well.
Lovely.
So it's worth it for that. And by the way, it's home of the £10 roast. If you're a subscriber to Back of the Net, that is, you just got to show your app and show that you're subscribed. It's 1 meat for that, but it's £12 for 2 meats. You pay £2 more if you're not subscribed. So just tap that little button. Plus, there's European football next week.
Oh, yeah, there is. Yeah, European week. So they'll have all that on TNT, obviously. So that'll be a good one. Yes, no excuse not to get down, really, mate.
So, Saturday, 3 p.m. This is Bournemouth's 8th Premier League game, kicking off at 3 p.m. on a Saturday, with only Burnley and Sunderland playing more in this slot. The Cherries won each of their first 3, but since then we've been winless in 4. There's a stat for you. Also, Chelsea have lost both of their Premier League games, kicking off at 3 p.m. on a Saturday this season, going down at home to both Brighton and Sunderland. The Blues haven't lost 3 in a row in this kickoff slot since November 2000. We could make it 3 in a row. It happens every 25 years, maybe, Chelsea.
Yeah, that's could be a little
Who
thing.
knows?
Like
The weather, mate, promises to be absolutely dismal again, but will it get any better on the football pitch? We hope so.
I bloody hope so. Yeah, God, this weather, what is going on? It's horrible,
crap.
isn't it?
I mean, you know what? We had a spell, especially last season, every home game, we seemed to get away with it in terms of weather, and we had really nice weather. Everyone was outside the Great Escape. This season's been rank.
Yeah, it's been rubbish, hasn't it? But and it's not like a goal, we're better in the road, because we've been crap in that time as well. But never know, it might not be quite as bad, I suppose. But yeah, it's a weird one with Chelsea. I mean, we'll go on to it. It's hard to know what Chelsea are going to get.
That's the thing, because they've been sort of quite good this season. This is Enzo Maresca's second season in charge for the Blues. In his first season, they finished 4th, their best place finish since the 21-22 season where they finished 3rd.
Okay.
The eye test suggests that they might have improved, but have they though? The points off top, they were 7 last season, now it's 9. Wins, 8 versus 7 this season. They aren't as good, but then they have had some big players out.
Yeah, they've had some big players out, and yeah, it is a weird one, mate, but I think it's crazy what one game does, because I wonder if we'd be speaking a little bit differently if they just turned over Leeds a few days ago. Do you know what I mean? That's the nature of it. But that is also the nature of Chelsea. That didn't shock me.
No.
I think, I don't want to say credit to Leeds, but I'll say credit to, well, knee for up. But at home, they're a different side. So I did think it'd be a tricky one for them. And they rotated a little bit. I think a lot of teams done that in the week, understandably, because a lot of football probably didn't work out for Chelsea. I think the thing they probably struggle with a little bit, which is understandable, Maresca probably struggles with, such a big squad because they signed so many players over the last few seasons.
Managing that must be difficult.
Yeah, it must be really difficult to manage it, and then you don't want to over-rotate.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes they maybe over-rotate because they think, God, we got 6 brilliant wingers. Like, let's just keep changing it kind of thing. But you need a little bit of continuity there. Obviously, they'll all be screaming now, any Chelsea fans watching, they haven't had Cole Palmer, who, lovely, he thought he'd pop on against Leeds just to get back to fitness, ready for our game, mate. But yeah, Cole Palmer's obviously a big one. And they lost Colwood as well. Didn't they? So they have had a few big injuries, mate. And Liam Delap's not long been back after signing in. So I still think they've done slightly better than I thought they would, actually.
Yeah. Bournemouth are not in a good place compared to last season as well, which is maybe surprising. 14th with 19 points. Last season we had 21 at this point.
Oh, great.
That shows how it has unravelled more than. But then the league table does seem a bit closer. If you get a few wins, then you're right back up there. So both teams are not as good as last season. Speaking of last season, we first met them at home on the 14th of September. Can you remember the result?
Yeah, I hated that game.
Why?
Evan Nilsson missed a penalty.
So yes, he did, didn't he?
Evan Nilsson missed a penalty, so now he's not been on penalty since, and they scored right at the end. Was it Nkunku?
Yeah, it was.
A nice little swivel. Good finish. He came off the bench, I think. And and then the away game, oh my God. I mean, it was a bloody good point on it. But we would, what minute was it? 95.
Yeah, 95. But it was a free kick goal that shouldn't have stood because there was some rule about having players standing next to a wall or something, more than 3 of them or something. Something like that.
They let everyone know that rule, and that's been used since. But we were like the guinea pig, obviously, for that because it didn't work. I remember in that game at their place, first half, the Cole Palmer scored. And we were getting battered. And I couldn't believe it was only 1-0. Yeah. And then second half, we just come out and we were unbelievable. Do you remember? Kluivert got a pen, didn't he? And then Semenyo. But then, last minute goal for him.
Did he come off the bench in that game? So we had an injury early in the first half.
Yes.
And Kluivert had to come off the bench.
Yeah, that's right. I think.
And then we had no other senior players on the bench apart from Jebison.
Yes, I think, off the top of my head, I think Hill might have got injured and Cook had to go to right back, so he brought Kluivert on, I think. It was something like that. But yeah, that was when we were in that period, wasn't it, where we had no players. So it was a really good point, but I remember that it being so late, it was heartbreaking.
Referee controversy in that game, but also in our game as well, because Anthony Taylor in the home game against Chelsea handed out 14 yellow cards, which was the most ever in a Premier League game.
Absolute
Do you remember that?
Shock, yeah.
Unlike the officials to be clamouring for attention. So look, what did Chelsea do in the summer? I feel as though, we might be here for a while, mate.
Yeah.
I just feel like putting a gallery music from Heartbeat and just playing it whilst they scroll up. But transfers out were a lot more. I've got to say, there were a fair few transfers out, but in through the door, who do they have?
But a lot of the ones in are now out. Because that's what they do. It's like Strasbourg who beat Palace in Europe. They're like their sister club, aren't they? Yeah. And they were signing players. Like Buonanotte got the winner for Leicester, signed in game to them. Chilwell's at Strasbourg.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't know that. I was watching Strasbourg the other night. Oh, bloody Chelsea beat it there. But yeah, there is loads of players on this list that you won't even know they are, mate. Penders, never heard of him. Asugu, never heard of him. Paez, never heard of him.
I mean, a lot of money.
I know, yeah. But that's what they're doing, get the youngsters in, aren't they? And then obviously feed them out and hope they'll be better. But Liam Delap was a big one, as I said earlier. It was a shame he got an injury because also if he can have a run, look at it lately with England and Harry Kane not having a natural backup at the moment that's really grabbing it, Watkins will want to again, blah, blah, blah. Delap could get it if he gets on a run for Chelsea. So good to see him back in that sense. João Pedro I thought was a very good signing from Brighton. Brighton obviously getting big money for him like Brighton do, 60 million, but he's a clever player. Bono Gittins was a lot of money as well from Dortmund. They got Garnacho as well in the end. I thought was a weird one.
I've never been impressed whenever I've seen him. He's a little ratty player. Yeah, he's so ratty.
Because I think he's absolutely...
I think he is.
Yeah, but we're playing him. He's 100% going to score now.
Didn't he have his effect when Man United played us at our place. It was like 2-2, and we were in hospitality that day. And I just remember him being a bit of a nuisance.
Yeah, no, he's got something about him, hasn't he? But I was just surprised with all the options Chelsea have out there. They need him. Esteval from Palmeiras, by the way, he's going to be a player, that boy. Yeah. He's obviously only really, really young, but he's going to be a hell of a player. So he was a good signing. But yeah, as you say, mate, what Chelsea do really well is they buy these players. You think, how have they afforded that? Well, you see how much money they recruit back in.
So look at this. I mean, like 25 came from us, of course, with Petrovic, but, you know, Madueke, Arsenal, João Felix, of course. I mean, there's a hell of a lot there that went out.
Yeah, a lot of them went out, mate.
In Keenan Dewsbury Hall, 28 mil.
Yeah, exactly. So they get them in, but they're a good selling club as well, aren't they? They always get their money back for these players. I mean,
Jesus.
The only one that was a bit of a surprise was I think Nicholas Jackson only went on loan, didn't he, to Bayern Munich? Yeah. But it wasn't quite working for him. But he feels like an ex-Bournemouth player, even though he's not. Nicholas Jackson, because he had a medical here. But yeah, obviously we got Petro and Kepa went as well to Arsenal. How many ex-Chelsea goalies have we had, by the way? Blimey. What? Because obviously we got
Begovic.
And we've got Petro, and we had Kepa last season as well. So that's already free in like a short space of time, isn't it?
There was another one from the 90s or the noughties as well. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments, because I would love to know. But yeah, so look, in terms of the spend, 304 million versus the income of 302. So it's only a deficit of, less than 1.3.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Shows where they're at.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable. Which probably maybe we should be giving like Maresca more credit.
Yeah, because managing that squad is difficult as well.
Like, does he even know all their names?
No, probably not. And some of them are hard to pronounce as well, but probably not. But yeah, it's a weird one, because I don't think Chelsea fans are actually completely sold on him. I don't think the football's brilliant, but then I do think it's, from an outside point of view, you think managing all that, I think he's managing it all right. And then when they're in, obviously won the Conference League, didn't they?
Yes, yeah.
And in Europe, he seems to be able to rotate, and they're still fine. So I think he's managing it relatively well, to be honest with you. It depends what they want, really. If they expect to be in a title race, I don't think they're quite there. Yeah. But if they want to just be knocking on the door and make sure they're getting the Champions League spots, then I certainly fancy them and certainly think they're doing that. But yeah, it's a lot of managing of players, mate. Have you thought of the goalkeeper?
Nick Colgan.
Oh, Colgan, I remember him.
Nick Colgan. Yeah, that's what I meant. Let's go through Chelsea's results then, and we'll start from, say, October 2025, because this gives us a significant chunk to see their kind of recent form going into this match, and a good win against, well, I say good, Liverpool have been awful, but they beat Liverpool 2-1.
Yeah, and they deserve to win a game, so yeah, it was a good win for them. They had a potential banana skin at Forest and literally wiped the floor of them, didn't they, 3-0. As I say, then they go in Europe, change the old team, win 5-1. Ajax ain't having a good season, to be fair. The surprise was probably Sunderland at home, but Absolutely. I think you look at it now, I think Sunderland have not lost to any of the top 7 or something. Like,
ridiculous.
This week they've just gone to Anfield and probably should have won. They've Arsenal beating everyone. They got a point off Arsenal. So, yeah, that probably is not as much of a surprise as it seemed at the time. The Wolves game in the Cup was mental, wasn't it? It looked like they were going to kill them, and then it kind of come back a little bit. But they still got through. Yeah. Really important to obviously beat that Tottenham game, by the way, away 1-0. You think, they got the job done. They murdered Tottenham. Yeah. I don't know how it was only 1-0. Absolutely played off the park. Karabag, by the way, 2-2 draw. What's weird is that's a good draw in Europe. Who's a ex-Bournemouth and Chelsea player that's played for Karabag?
Oh, I don't know.
Asmir Begovic.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say that as well.
He went out on loan there, yeah. Then they trounced Wolves, which most teams do, to be fair. Good little win against their both another ex-Bournemouth and Chelsea, Scott Parker.
Ball,
Burnley 2-0. The Barcelona one was bloody impressive. Barcelona had nearly sending it off, but Chelsea were the better team before that, in fairness. Really impressed with them against Arsenal. I watched that game, and Chelsea went down to 10 men early, which I was pleased about because I knew Caicedo would be out of our game, and he's one of the best midfielders in the league. But after that, against the best team in the league, they never looked like they had 10 men. Yeah. They were well worthy of a point. And then, I think if we'd stopped there, I'd be absolutely bricking it. Yeah. But then they have this is the thing about the inconsistency of Chelsea. Then they go to Leeds and concede 3. It was a strange one. And I watched most of that. Leeds deserved it.
They couldn't handle the physicality of Leeds, could they?
No, which is not really going to help us. But we know that it's a difficult place to go, Leeds, and they maybe over-rotated a little bit. But I was surprised at how easy it was for Leeds to beat them, actually.
One thing you'll notice through looking at those results is that Chelsea are on the longest current scoring streak of any side in the Premier League, netting in all 13 of their games since the goalless draw that they had with Palace on the opening weekend. So all we're saying is if Bournemouth are going to win, it's going to be 2-1 rather than 1-0 or 2-0. Right, let's check out our head-to-head record against them then. And, there was this little like purple patch that we had from like 2015 to 2020, where we got a draw, a few wins, etc. But since then, mate, nothing. Well, a couple of draws.
Yeah, a few draws now. I think considering the two teams and when we play each other, we are the little boys against the big dogs. I mean, not only were we obviously weaker than we are now, really, when we got a few wins against them, they were also like probably better. They were some quite impressive ones. I've got a feeling, I don't know if it was Mourinho and Conte, but I feel like after losing to Bournemouth, they've sacked two of their managers in the past.
Yeah, they have, yeah.
But we've had some special ones. I mean, probably that first ever Premier League season, the 1-0 win, Glenn Murray.
Yeah.
All Bournemouth fans remember that. Beating them, how much did we beat them at home? Was it 4-0? Actually, 4-0,
yeah.
At their place, I remember going up, I think it was like a Wednesday night, winning 3-0, Ake. I was like, how are we doing this? That was that one. Do you remember that? I can't remember what the channel's called, where Eddie went on there and had to talk tactics. Like, manager's gone there.
Coach's voice.
Yes, and he done that game.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
And it was really interesting, actually. But yeah, I think because of where the two clubs are, we always go into the game as big underdogs.
Yeah.
So even though the head-to-head would be much in their favour, I actually think in general in Premier League terms, we've always done all right against them.
Yeah. Well, we're winless in our last 7 Premier League games against Chelsea. Not good. Chelsea have just lost one of their 8 Premier League away matches against Bournemouth as well. That was that 4-0 that we were alluding to. In all our home games against Chelsea, Bournemouth have won 2, drawn 2, lost 5. In all competitions though, home and away, Bournemouth won 5, drawn 3, lost 14.
It wasn't Conte, it was Sarri that was sacked, I think. Yes, I think it was after that 4-0. It was Sarri.
So how on earth do we beat Chelsea? This midfield battle is where it's going to be at, and we are worryingly short in personnel.
Yeah, the only reason I think we can is because the only reason I'm...
Do you think we can?
No.
All right, well, you just said the only reason I think we can.
If you let me finish that.
Okay.
Is that everything that's coming out of my mouth is exactly what was happening last season when we go to Newcastle.
Yeah.
I remember going, well, we can't win. I don't know how we're going to win. I mean, they're beating everyone. We're crap at the moment. And we won 4-1.
So using history to
that's the only thing I could go on. I think if you went on, all right, let's try and be, if we're honest about it, Palmer will probably not be fit for 90 anyway. He's only just come back, which is a plus because he's a very good player. I think their player of the season's probably been Caicedo. He's definitely out, suspended. So we've got to look at that as positive. Not helped that our player in the same position is also suspended in Tyler Allen.
Yeah.
I think the only way we can look at it is the most recent game they've had, that I'm sure Andoni and the coach staff will look at. They conceded 3 to Leeds. So even though they scored, and as you just mentioned, how good they are at scoring, that's leaky against Leeds.
Yeah, it's true.
One of the goals, they're playing it out from the back really badly.
Yeah.
Just think, if we get our press right, could we, what I'm saying is I think I'd be surprised if this isn't both teams to score. I fancy both teams to score in this game.
What about Tuesday gave you that impression?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. If we don't score, we're definitely conceding, is what I'm saying. I don't see how we keep a clean sheet against these. But I don't know how we beat them. Maybe they have a bit of a below par performance again. You told me this stat, by the way. If we go 1-0 up, we don't want to score again.
Yeah.
We've got a worse record 2-0 up.
Yeah.
So we have 1-0 up when we don't score the second. So when we score 1 and everyone goes, well, we need that second. No, we don't. No, we don't. But yeah, no, listen, it's football, mate. It's 11v11. If we're on it, if we see a reaction, then you never know. It's which way you look in. I think we'll only know after the game if Chelsea's defeat to Leeds actually was bad for us because it meant they had a big reaction because they weren't going to lose another one back to back, or if it was start of a little blip for them and we've got them at the right time. Who knows? Well,
look at the form going into this for Chelsea. Looking at the last 4 games, they had 2 at home. That was Wolves and Arsenal, and 2 away, Burnley and Leeds, which includes, of course, 3 teams with relegation concerns. Chelsea gained 7 points, which was probably just about right. The XG value for goals scored is 6.78 compared with 7 actual goals. So there's no real over or under performance with XG, but also XGC as well. 5 different goal scorers over the last 4 games, which means they share it out amongst the 11. The 10 really. The average positions of the starting lineups can be seen if you're watching YouTube. No clear pattern, but I mean, I'm just looking at the away ones. Burnley, middle of the park, Leeds. Yeah, I don't know. It's quite interesting, really, to see how they're shaped up for this. Because against Leeds away, they're a lot deeper, you would say, overall than they were at Burnley. Maybe they could just take the game to Burnley a lot more. But at Leeds, they were... what were they trying to do? Counter-attack?
Well, I wonder if that was a bit of an anomaly. I think Leeds deserve the credit, and I would never want to give Leeds credit, as you know. No. But I think they surprised them. I don't think that was a plan. The way they're positioned there against Leeds. I just think Leeds pinned them back. They really struggled with it. I think the other 3 before that is a little bit more of a pattern there, where they're obviously a lot higher. yeah, maybe they're just probably getting used to not having their main man Sosado in the middle of the park as well, dictating things. And as I briefly mentioned, they did rotate a few that ended up coming on, and they had a little bit more about them once they'd done that. It might be a case of a little bit of probably rotate a little bit too many in one go for a game away at Leeds, which is a tricky one. But yeah, you know, if they react against us, they probably won't see it too bad. Like,
whilst we're here, can I show you our average positions against Everton?
I don't want to see it, man.
Mate, that's terrible, isn't it?
Well,
when do we ever have that?
No, it was awful, wasn't it? Well, that's why it was such a bad game.
Like, they had more players in our half.
I know.
What?
I know, it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
If Chelsea aren't smelling blood now, I don't know when they will be. Well, look, comparing the last 4 games for Chelsea and AFCB in terms of attempts and all that kind of stuff, Bournemouth have had more attempts but less big chances and a higher XG, although Chelsea have scored more, as we have been fairly wasteful in front of goal. And you can see on screen possession and pass completion is relatively similar, as is chances created from set pieces. The chances conceded from set pieces, though, shows a big difference, with AFCB conceding over 45% of chances from dead balls. Although we have played teams that are maybe very good at set pieces, including Everton, Sunderland, West Ham and Villa, who focus on them quite a bit. Oh, can't wait. All right, team news then. Lewis Cook and now Tyler Adams suspended, Ben Gannon-Doak and Ryan Christie injured, but there are a couple of names on that list who will be back: Senesi and David Brooks, which is
plus.
Brings the experience a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely plus points there, mate. I mean, for Chelsea fans that don't know, that's the ones we mentioned there are centre midfield players. Really, are Tyler Adams out, Lewis Cook out, Ryan Christie out, and Alex Scott. So we've only got one natural centre midfield player available for this one, so that's going to be tough for us. But yeah, I think getting Senesi and Brooks back from suspension will obviously help. Yeah, because really we've lost one. Yes, is a crucial one, but we've gained 2, haven't we, from the week? So got to take the positives with that if we can.
And what about the Chelsea team news then, mate? What's going on?
Well, as I mentioned a few times, obviously Saicedo suspended. Injury front, it's more long-term one. So Lavia, Cole Will, I think that Sugu lad's out as well, who hasn't really played. Madrid, I swear he's just going to be baller league, isn't he? That guy? But yeah, they're in a pretty decent spot. As I say, Cole Palmer's clearly not 100% fit, and I would anticipate he would only come on if they needed to come on. I don't think they wanted to bring him on against Leeds, but it was kind of needs must. So he's not fully fit, so yeah, it's fair to mention that because he's such a good player for him. But apart from that, they're in good spot. It's just, if I predict them, by the way, I deserve a knighted or something. I don't know why a knighted.
No, we can
because
sort
their
that.
team is so hard to predict.
Let's do teams then. Come on then, let's start with Bournemouth, and you can see it on. Oh my goodness!
I'm going rogue.
Oh my goodness, mate!
I'm going for it.
I mean, I said I didn't recognise the team on Tuesday. I don't think I recognise this team at all. What's going on?
I'm going to just like wipe it out a little bit because I just think it was that bad. So obviously Petro in goal. I'm bringing Smithy back in for experience at right back. To put the armband on, he'll be in there at right back, I think. Diakite will keep his spot, but Senesi will definitely come back in. I could put them to a centre back, Treffer to stay at left back. We haven't got anyone to partner Scott really, I think. So there's a lot of talk about Scott going deeper. But I think if you keep Scott in his position, at least that's one thing you haven't changed. So I'm just going to bring in James Hill to play in the Tyler Adams role. A lot of people said Senesi, which I get, but I want Senesi at the back bringing it out. So I'm going to go James Hill in the deeper role.
I mean, I would usually say Tav.
Yeah, but then that would mean Scott's deeper.
Yeah.
Because Tav would have to play higher up. Yeah, normally I'd potentially would, but I think if you just if you want someone a bit like Tyler Adams, just bring in a bit of a destroyer in midfield. I'm just going to randomly go rogue and just chuck James Hill in. I'm also going to go rogue on one of the wide positions. I'm going to put Jimenez on the right wing. I just think he looks like a player that he has played a lot of wing back that could play further forward. I don't think he deserves to be dropped, but I think we need Smithy in there. So I'm just going outside the box and going, could he play in front? And let's just have a real go at him that way. I think Cucurella gets forward a lot. They're quite dangerous down there. His pace was just a random shout. And obviously we've got a lot of players out at the moment. And also, I don't think Tav should play. And I don't think Kluivert's been good enough. And he would be good off the bench.
Brooks in that 10, though.
So I'm putting Brooks in the 10. I think we need to change something, do something different. So I'm going to put Brooks in the 10 role. Semenyo Stout on the left. And bring Evan Nilsson back in up front. But that also means even with the players out, if we need to change it, Tav could potentially do something. Kluivert could do something. Adley. I think Adley's had a couple of games that okay, but not enough for me. So I'm just going to go a bit rogue, mate. Why play it safe?
And as for Chelsea, then a 4-2-3-1, where is this at? Good luck.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm going to do a few little robots in there, but obviously Sanchez has been goal. I'm going to bring Gusto in at right back. Chalobah. By the way, Chalobah, I think Conte, I think he'll be in the England squad for that. I think he's a good player. I'm tossing Adebayo next to him, who I've got their memories of Fulham, him scoring a late header.
Yes,
he's big from set pieces. And then Cucurella at left back. I've put Gusto at right back because I think Reece James is going to go play in midfield. He's done it a few times, and I think that without Caicedo, they've been putting Reece James in there. They didn't on Tuesday, and it didn't look right. So I think Reece James is going to partner Enzo Fernandez. They went for Bino Gittins and Esteval on the wings against Leeds. So I'm doing this in my head that Maresca's done them two against Leeds, and he's doing these two against us. So I'm going to go Neto and Garnacho, and then João Pedro to play just off Liam Delap up front.
Well, João Pedro, of course, is one to look out for. He opened the scoring within 15 minutes in both of Brighton's Premier League matches with Bournemouth last season.
I swear he scored in the Championship COVID for Watford as well.
He did, yeah.
He's got a good little record against us, and I also always worry about Pedro Neto. I think Pedro Neto's a player.
João Pedro, though, this could be the first time he scores 3 in a row against an opponent for the first time in the competition.
Lovely.
Can't wait for that. Also, no Chelsea player has either scored or been involved in more Premier League goals than the player you just mentioned, Pedro Neto, this season.
No, because in my fantasy team he's doing all right.
Yeah, the Portuguese has been involved in 6 goals in his last 7 appearances in the competition. The referee, Tom?
Could not get... Did you see in the week, by the way? Did you see, was it a Forest game? What game was it? It was one of the games. I think it was the Forest game. That they were checking it 6 minutes. They were checking it. It was the most clearest offside you've ever seen.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Who's the amazing ref?
Michael Oliver.
Don't care.
He took our game at Leeds away. Lovely. There was a bit of controversy with Newcastle's penalty that was given against but that's exactly the same as what happened to us against Palace, wasn't it?
Yeah, I actually think this one was worse. I think it was more clear. I think I could see why people were like, oh, that'll happen every game. I thought that was just about a penalty.
Mate, like we do the same actions without realising it. Such a duo. Match predictions then, what are you going for if you're watching on YouTube? Put them in the comments. By the way, only Arsenal have conceded fewer home goals than Bournemouth in the Premier League this season. Hello. Although the Cherries, of course, as we know, did suffer our first home defeat. Will it be a second, Tom?
I can't predict us not to lose this. I can't see how we're not going to lose this game.
Really?
Yeah, you know what I'm like. I'd always try and... I can't see it. I've got to be honest. If I predict us to get something in this game, it's basically me saying that I'm never going to predict us to lose.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, look at the form. We can surprise. We've done it so many times, as I've already mentioned, the Newcastle away last season. But I've got to go on what I've seen from Bournemouth recently, what I've seen from Chelsea recently. That were too good. I'm going to go 3-1 to Chelsea.
Yeah.
Go on, be honest. What do you actually think? Let's just be...
what I actually think is that Chelsea will win 2-1.
Okay.
But Chelsea are going to win 2-1.
Yeah.
No, I can't go. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. And if you put a Bournemouth win, tell us why you've come to that conclusion and how you formulated that, rather than just a pie in the sky, plucking numbers out there. We want to kind of qualify your prediction. And
if your medication is available, just to get a prescription or what.
And we'll read it, and then maybe that will just perk us up as we go into another match day here on Back of the Net. Once again, a reminder to like and subscribe if you haven't. But yeah, cheers for listening, cheers for watching, and we'll see you at the Vitality Stadium on Saturday. Can't wait.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
I can't wait for us to win and just be like, what a club. What a club.